is equal to rho T0 is equal to alpha, and then alpha is inverse of x, no, here. See, if I express this alpha, alpha is actually inverse of x. See, it is equal to mass, and this is in terms of a length.
Yes.
Yeah, mass divided by length into g divided by T0. T is tension, so it is equal to 1 by alpha is equal to 1 upon length. Okay, so this implies that my alpha is equal to length, a unit of length. Okay, yeah. So maybe I am writing this, sorry. See, this is only to get rid of the constant. So see, I'm writing that y at x is equal to 0 is equal to alpha. Okay, so my alpha is equal to alpha cos h, here 0 by alpha, okay, plus c. So this implies that my c is equal to 0, and then my final equation becomes y of x is equal to alpha cos h x by alpha. Okay, what I have did now, the assumptions are two assumptions I have actually used. So y of x is equal to 0, which is equal to alpha, and then the first and the next was alpha is equal to rho g, that's actually 1 by alpha, rho g divided by T0. Okay, so this was the case. Yeah, and this is the equation of catenary. Yeah. So in this case, see, in this case my alpha is equal to, let us say, cos h x by alpha. I can again substitute. See, yes.
Sir,
yes.
Can you please repeat the point y of x is equal to 0 is equal to alpha?
Yeah.
I don't understand.
See. In actually this case, because you are saying that because I am substituting something means, see, my alpha is equal to alpha as a dimension of length, isn't it? Alpha has a dimension of length, which is equal to now rho g, okay, rho g by T0. Okay, it has a dimension of length. Okay, so then that is actually, I'm saying that my height, see, the height of the, let us say, the point at which my slope, height of the wire from the ground, okay, height of a wire from a ground when my slope is equal to 0, okay, is equal to this constant. See, this is just a substitute. Yes.
Sir, how we substituted rho g and T naught? Couldn't how that height is equal to that?
See, you know about T0 tension along x-axis?
Yes, sir.
See, this constant, it is actually for our purpose that I am defining my height is equal to this point. See, it is height, it could be, see, because as I'm just drawing the thing, see, if someone can hold the, let us say, the chain by this fashion. Okay, someone say that, okay, no, my length is different, so I will just put a more tension in the wire so that my length will be also length will be small. This is this point. Okay, someone can say that, okay, no, I will just putting a tension in the wire is in the, let us say, greater, automatically it is going into that much. Okay, see, this distance, so this is, let us say, ground. Okay, so I am defining my y is equal to 0 here. Okay, and at this point x is equal to 0. See, in order to match this constant, otherwise this is constant is as it is. Did you understood the problem? We actually solve, this is the equation. This is the equation for the problem, and this is actually the correct expression. Okay, so in order to get rid of C, because C contains the information of this constant contains constant, you can eliminate the constant by putting the value of the y when x is equal to 0. Isn't it? Because you have only the boundary, you have only the conditions, where in this case you can also have the condition like dy by dx is equal to 0 at this point. You can also start from x is equal to 0, and you can also get this y. See, this is different. No? Here is the y is different. Here is the y will be different. In those cases, the C will be different. Actually, the answers of the problem is just this problem. Answers of the question is just like this: y of x, which is equal to alpha cos h x by alpha. This is actually the solution of the problems. You don't have to worry about the things. Plus constant. Okay.
Sir, means y is equals to alpha is just assumption.
Yeah. Just actually see. You can
sir,
also
that alpha is again equal to rho g by t0.
No, this is constant. No? Alpha is constant. Alpha is constant. See, this is the distance of the wire from this point is constant. No? You can actually put the wire which is close to ground also, because in that case y equal to 0 at x equal to 0. Okay, isn't it? See, I can set my y. See, I can put my y here. Okay, and this wire is actually exactly very touching or very close to a ground, isn't it? So I can set my y-axis anywhere and I can find out value of C. So this is just don't get confused. See, this is actually a proper solution of the problem. The constant of the C can be obtained or can be determined just by putting what is the value of x. Okay, sorry, what is the value of y when x is varying, because now x is varying from here 0 to x something. Okay, and from all the points you can substitute what is the value of x, sorry, what is the value of corresponding y at corresponding x, because x is known. Okay, so then you can actually find out the value of C here. For example, probably you can actually substitute C here. C, x is equal to x, what should be the value of y x at x is equal to x. Okay, and then you can also find out value of C. It is actually a matter of finding a let us say constant of integration by putting your physical condition. Okay, so did you understand? The solution of the problem is this. Okay, solution of the problem is this. Okay, so this is actually the correct solution. Okay, after that you can actually substitute value of y and x and find out a value of C. That is the different activity. You actually solve the solution. So the bottom line is that just we are taking a symmetric problem or symmetric, let us say, chain, and it is hanging between the 2 points. Okay, where the 2 point at where the 2 point at equal height. Okay, someone is waiting for a lobby. Okay. Okay, did you understood, or any thing is required in this case? See, it is a symmetric problem. This is a symmetric chain. Okay, and then you are actually putting where this is my y. So this is putting y. Oh, sorry, it is not 1 by x. This is y is equal to alpha. Y is equal to alpha at x is equal to 0. Okay, so this is just boundary condition, or this is just a constant. If you don't put y is equal to alpha and at x is equal to 0, this still the problem is there is no change in the solution of a problem. Okay, shall we go to the next problem? Yeah.
Sir.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
I think next problem is very simple. Yeah, y of x is just, I'm just completing. Y of x is equal to, see, I'm using another alpha, a constant. Okay, so I'm purposely, because I can write again a constant, which is equal to a cos h, I think ax, okay, plus c, where my a is equal to 1 upon alpha and alpha is equal to rho of, sorry, 1 upon alpha is equal to rho g divided by tc. Yeah, this was our substitution, and this is actually a problem that we ask. And don't worry about the c. C will be depend upon your, whatever may be your condition on y at particular x, that is actually depend upon the c. Okay, so now we'll go to the next problem. By the way, we are about to finish a time.
Hello, sir.
Hello, yeah, go ahead.
Sir, if in place of hyperbolic function, can we use logarithm function?
In
integration of du, in integration of du upon 1 plus u square, there we can use logarithm function, that is log of mod of u plus under root of 1 plus u square.
Yeah. See, both the way you can actually integrate, and from putting a constant of integration, you can actually arrive again in the same thing, sin h hyperbolic function. Yeah, because see, this is the function where we actually we are actually familiar with this function. That's the reason I'm actually writing your expression or integration in terms of this function. Okay, maybe we'll actually go to the another problem. Question number 4, no? Question number 4.
Yes, sir.
So the question number 4 is again very common problem. Okay. So I will draw a pulley. These are the two pulley system. And now drawing is not very okay. Maybe I will take a rope. Here is the M1 mass is connected. Okay. And here there is another pulley. Okay, and then this pulley is connected by another mass, M2. Okay, and this, everything is, yeah, so this is all this assumptions are there, M1, M2. Okay, so we have to find out escalation and escalation of the masses M1 and M2 and tension in the string. Okay, so pulley are arranged in a rope, escalation of masses M1 and M2, and then maybe we can also find out a tension in the string. Okay, so how will it start? So this is, let us say, rope. It is also given the length of a rope is L. So we can actually try to get into account what is actually length of the a string. Okay. So if I write the solution starting from, okay, this is fine. So okay. So my length of a string is L is equal to length of a string. Okay, so now if I express this problem in different fashion, for example, because this point is constant, because this mass is not moving, so I can express this distance as a, let us say, S distance. This is fixed distance. Yes, okay. S1. Okay. Also, this distance is fixed. Okay. So I am actually taking, because my gravitational force is along the downward direction. Okay. And now I am taking my escalation along the minus j direction, is actually positive escalation. Okay. So I am taking my A1, which is equal to along this one. For example, I am taking A1. Okay. And this is A2 of escalation of these masses. Okay. Along this direction. Yeah. If I write L, L is the length of a string. See now, I will have to divide. I can write the L in terms of a different fashion. So see, from this point, yeah, okay. Yeah, so this point or the distance, this distance I am just saying that, okay, not even this distance, up to this distance, because my string is up to this point. Okay, so this distance, and because this is actually varying, so I am saying that this is equal to y1. Okay, this distance over the pulley is actually twice pi r. Our radius of the pulley is actually same, and this distance, see, up to this point, I am, because this distance is S1. This is also S1 distance, which is also fixed. The distance which is varying from this point to this point. So this is a distance is equal to y2. Okay. So if I divide the length, see, my pointer is visible to you. Okay. See, my actually the length of a rope is equal to from this point. See, length is from this point, which is actually up to this point. Radius of a pulley. Okay. This y2 again. See, this is also y2. Yeah. This is also y2. Okay. This is also y2, and this is also twice pi r. So the total length I can write in terms of C, y1. Okay. Plus pi r. R is radius of a pulley. Okay. This is radius of pulley. This is also the same thing, radius of pulley, pi r. Okay. Again, plus y2, this distance y2, again plus pi r plus y2. Okay. This is actually a total distance, sorry, the total length of a rope. Okay. If I write this expression in terms of a length, which is equal to y1 plus twice. Plus S. Yeah. Y1 plus twice y2 plus twice pi r. So this is actually a length. Okay. And if I write, yes.
Plus S1.
The length of the rope. It also
okay.
S1.
Yeah. Good. Okay. Plus S1. Good. S1. See. Now this is S1. Good. S1. Fine. Now because S1 is constant, S1 is constant, my R is constant. Okay. So if I write DL, which is equal to 0, which is equal to now dy1, okay, plus twice dy2. Everything is equal to 0. Okay. And then what is dy1 and dy2? Okay. So this is I can write in terms of a dy1, which is equal to twice dy2. Okay. And then I can write dy1 by dt, which is equal to twice. So sorry, minus sign here. Minus twice dy2 by dt, or even I can write d2y1 by dt square, which is equal to minus twice dy2 by dt square. So what about escalation? Okay, so do you know the escalation means, because this is escalation, because I am taking the escalation along the negative direction. So my a1, okay, a1 which is equal to minus twice a2. Understood? This might have been, you might have been done this earlier also. Okay. So this is the important point about escalation. So if it is escalation is given, this is fine. Now, but I am going for tension. Okay. Okay, for tension I need this diagram. So that's the reason I'm okay. So escalation is complete now. I am now obtaining a tension now. Okay. So to get a tension, okay, fine. Dot, okay. Okay. Now, if mg will be acting downward, okay, m1g will be acting downward because tension at everywhere is constant. So T is there. So this is m2g will be acting downward, but here tension T and tension T will be acting upward. Okay. So if I write a force body diagram, for example, this is common in force actually, because that what they can do, they can write one pulley and one block. Okay, so that means if I write one pulley m1 mass, which is acting, tension is here, and this is m1g. Okay, so in this case I can express my the diagram, which is equal to now, okay, what is the force, total force, okay, which is equal to m1g, okay, minus T, because everywhere is constant T, which is equal to now m1a1. Okay, this is equal to 1 force. Now for another case, okay, twice T minus m2g. Okay, so this is just equal to yeah. Okay, for another mass, I have a twice T. Okay, I have a T as well as another T. Okay, so this is T again. This is also another T. Okay, and this is also balanced by m2. Okay, so this is, and it is G. Okay, so in this case, I have a m2g minus twice T, which is equal to m2a2. So this is equation number 2. And then from equation number 1, from 1, my tension, which is equal to m1 g minus m1a. This is equation number 3. And from equation number 2, 2 implies 2 you can write in terms of a m2g minus twice T. T you can express in the, okay, but let it be like that, T, which is equal to m2 and a2. What about a2? a1 is equal to minus a1 by 2. Okay, so this is equation number 4. Okay, so now if you solve equation number 3 and 4, you will get tension, which is equal to now, I think 4m1. Yeah, tension, which is equal to now 3m1, sorry, 3m1m2 3m1m2 divided by 4m1 plus m2. This is the expression for tension. Okay. Yeah, so this is the important part of this expression is that you will have to how you actually use all the length, and see, I'm just hinting you, because in this case, because this is actually a important problem of constraint. Although we are actually defining the, let us say, y1 and y2 in this case. Okay, although we are actually defining y1 and y2, but the equation, and we are actually defining acceleration of a particle, acceleration of a mass m1 and acceleration of mass m2. Okay, but in principle, this equation is written in terms of a constraint equation. Okay, and then you express one escalation in the escalation of another part. Okay, and then when you actually take into account as a constraint. Okay, so the constraint means you define a generalized coordinates when you take into account as a constraint. And that is actually a degree of freedom of the problems. Okay, so although in this case you are defining y1 and y2 as a 2 coordinates for 2 bodies, but in principle it requires only 1 coordinates. Okay, yeah, because Yeah, you can actually write the equation in terms of only escalation, either in terms of A1 or either escalation in terms of A1, which is equal to minus of twice A2 kind of things. Yeah.
Hello, sir.
Yes.
I have one doubt.
Yes.
Sir, as we can see, S1 is constant.
Yeah,
so A1 and A2, it should be in opposite direction, na?
Yeah,
it should
A1
not
and
be
A2.
in.
See,
So
A1
the equation will change, na?
No,
equation
no,
1
see,
and 2.
See, because escalation of a particle is, I am just taking as a positive direction of y1. See, positive direction of y1. I'm defining my escalation in terms of positive. But your expression when your theta is coming in terms of A1 and A1 and A2s are opposite. Okay. Because this is actually constant condition, because the string is constant. String is not extensible. Okay. So string is inextensible.
Okay.
Yeah. See, because I will have to define. I will have to define, because my downward direction is actually positive y direction. So that's the reason I'm defining that fashion. Okay. Okay. So shall we go to another problem? Inclined plane problem.
Yes, sir. Sir,
Inclined.
for the last part of the solution, sir.
Which one?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
3m1 m2 or this part of the tension part.
So the this part, yes, sir.
This part, tension part.
So I just wanted to see, sir. I understood, but just wanted to see the last part.
Okay, last part. Okay, so this is, see, the tension, because this is called as the free body diagram, and this under the free body force diagram. See, what you define, you actually separate the blocks. Okay, where M block is there, and on M block, what is the tension on acting, or what is actually total force acting on M block, and you write the expression. So that is, see, now M1G will be acting downward force, tension force is acting upward. Okay, so I am writing, because I define this minus J direction, which is equal to my Y direction. Okay, so positive Y direction. That's the reason M1G minus T, tension is opposite, which is equal to your A1 into A. Okay, so escalation of first mass. Okay. Similarly, I'm also defining as it is T. Okay, so because this is actually a block. Okay, and the block is actually, the two tensions are actually balanced. Okay, so M2 will be acting down, M2G will be acting downward, and the tension, the two components of a tension which is acting upward. Okay, so that is M2G minus twice T. This is equal to M2 into A2. Okay, now I am trying. Yeah.
Sir, in first equation, you said that M1 is going downward. So in the second equation, M2 should go upward. So the sign will change, na? Minus M2 A2, na?
See. When I'm taking M2 mass, I'm not considering the effect of M1, because these are separate quantity. Okay. So the direction of the force which is acting on the gravity which is acting on M2 will be downward. Na? So that is the reason I'm acting M2G minus twice T. That is fine. Okay. See, because I define my escalation. See, I have defined my escalation, which is equal to M2G. M2A1. M2A1 means, according to definition, my definition, if the M2 mass is moving downward, my escalation is positive, which is also defined for A1, isn't it? After that, I'm substituting condition. What is the relationship between A1 and A2? In those cases, it is negative. Understood? See, if for example this M1 mass is lighter, okay, what will happen? M1 mass is lighter. What will happen? M2 will go down. M2 actually will go down. My definition of escalation is, if it is going down, then it is positive. I am not putting the condition. I'm at this moment, I'm just solving the block. I'm just solving the second block. This is actually a second block. This is actually a second block, and this is actually a second block. I'm just solving the second block. If motion is downward, okay. So this is actually second block.
Okay, so while solving the second block, so we shouldn't consider the effect of first one.
No. See, you are independently solving first block and second block, because see, after that solving first block, you are getting equation 1 and 2. See, equation 1 and 2, that means here you have two equations, but there is a 3 unknown. 3 unknowns means, see, t is unknown, a1 is unknown, a2 is unknown. Okay, and after actually putting the condition of this condition, there is a third condition. See, this is third condition. Third condition means you would be able to solve the equation. Otherwise, you cannot solve equation 1 and 2 unless you know, unless there should be some other equation, third equation. Then only then you can solve the equation. So this is third equation is from a constraint equation. Yeah. So always don't get confused that okay, at the moment don't put into all the constraint condition. You will have to solve block separate block 1 and block 2, and then you impose the condition. Once you solve block 1 and 2, see, yeah, once you solve block 1 and 2, this is block 1. So this is block 1, okay, first block, and this is first block. And then there is a 2 equation. One block correspond to 1, block correspond to 2, and then you put a third. Otherwise, you will not able to solve. Otherwise, you cannot calculate the unique value of escalation, and you cannot calculate the unique value of tension. From third equation, and then 2 unknowns. Okay, from the third equation. Now, if you substitute third equation, you have a 2 equations and 2 unknowns. That's the reason you can calculate A in terms of this masses, and we can find out the tension.
Okay, sir.
Sir,
Yes,
Sir,
there
Yes.
should be
Sir,
G
for the
sonar.
tension,
oh, sorry. Yeah, there is, because otherwise this is useless. Yeah, at the end there should be G. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Go to the next problem. You have another class?
Yes, sir.
Hello,
Yes,
student?
sir.
At what time?
Yes, sir. In 12.
In 12. Okay. So, okay. So, can you say something about the remaining problem? Problem number 5, problem number 6, problem number 7.
Yes, sir. Actually, personally, I wanted the second of the 7th problem. Just one doubt was there.
Yeah. Second of the 7th problem, just external force, you substitute G, mg.
Okay, sir. So, do we have to consider the impact of mg on the whole system? That is integration mg over a short period of time, or is it? I mean, do we have to consider time for that being?
No, I think. No, I think, yeah, I will have to solve the problem. I think this is not very complicated. See, external force is equal to, see, the rocket problem.
Yes, sir, the change in momentum divided by time would be equal to mg, the gravitational force.
Yeah, gravitational force.
So the time we have to arbitrarily consider over a short period of time, or is it just something?
No, this is t time, 0 to t. For example, 0 to t time. Okay, so you will have to write. You will have to integrate just by 0 to time. Okay. So that means from initial time to some time. So you will get the equation which is equal to gt. So the final expression, I think, in the rocket motion, question number 7, final expression would be equal to something like that. Delta v, that is change in the change in the rocket motion. Okay, so see, the problem is equal to this. Okay, so the change in the velocity of a rocket, which is equal to, if you solve the equation, you will get F external, which is equal to mass of a rocket, dv by dt, okay, plus or rather minus, okay, this is equal to rather minus u dm by dt. Okay, so what is this m? M is the total mass of a rocket. Okay, maybe I can draw the picture, and if necessary I will explain this. So this is actually after, let us say, momentum at t plus delta t. Okay, which is equal to capital M minus delta M, and this is equal to V plus delta V, velocity gain. Okay, and some, because this is rocket is ejecting fuel. Okay, so after a few time or delta T time, this dm exhaust is exhausted, and which is actually moving with the speed of u. Okay, and which is actually written as opposite minus, and that means v is in this, in actually this direction, and u is actually going in the opposite direction. Okay. So if you do that, just take it dp by dt, which is equal to p at t plus delta t, okay, minus p of t, and then, oh sorry, automatically it is taking round, so I'll have to disable this game. Sorry, yeah. So what is done now? So in this case, your F external, which is equal to now the mass, which is equal to total mass into dv by dt, okay, minus u dm by dt. But if you write dm, because total mass of a rocket is equal to m0, which is equal to mass of a rocket plus mass of a fuel. Okay, so this is, let us say, called as mf. Okay, and this is equal to mf. So if I write dm0, which is constant, which is equal to dm plus dmf. Okay, so this equation again turns out to be, F equation will be capital F dv by dt. Okay, I'm not using now vector quantity because my motion is along, let us say, x direction. So that's the reason I'm not substituting here vector quantity. This is plus u. U is actually a motion of a let us say the gas which is ejected by the rocket with respect to the u is the velocity of a gas which is exhausted from a rocket with respect to a motion of a rocket. This is equal to capital M by dt. And then if I integrate this equation, after integrating this equation, I should get because there is the two terms. Okay, let my force is equal to 0. Okay, so there is no force equation. Okay, so then this is in a free space. So my m dv by dt, which is equal to u dm by dt. Okay, so what will happen now? This is dv, which is equal to minus u dm by m, and then if I integrate along the both side, we will get delta v, that is initial velocity minus final, and this is equal to minus u, and this is equal to ln of, let us say, from m0 to m. M0 means initial masses to final mass. Okay, which is equal to now m divided by m0, and here m0 is greater than m. Okay, so I can again invert this delta v, which is equal to u ln of m0 by m. Okay, and this is one equation, and there's another equation is that under if F external, sorry, my F external, which is equal to, let us say, gravitational force, no, mg. Okay, sorry, capital mg. So in that case, my capital mg, which is equal to, you'll have to integrate, you'll have to consider in the whole thing, m into dv by dt, okay, plus u into dm by dt. So I can write all things is, which is equal to, I can keep it, this is constant, I can divide by m and I can divide by dt. Okay, so which is equal to now dv, which is equal to m, sorry, mg will be minus sign here. Yeah, because it is acting downward. It is g, this is dt, g dt, okay, minus u dm by m. Okay, isn't it? So this is equal to delta v. This is equal to I can again solve this equation, which is equal to u ln of m0 by m, okay, and in terms of minus gt, isn't it? I cut short different steps, okay.
Yes.
So
Sir.
if you consider in an external field, you will have to take into account f external, which is equal to minus mg, and then this is see, after a time t, okay, what will happen? The m0 will higher as compared to m, so this is positive, and u is actually a gain, because u is the speed of the exhaust which is emitted by a rocket with respect to a rocket motion, okay, because we are actually measuring everything from inertial frame of reference, okay, because delta U is measured with respect to inertial frame, okay, and gt, yeah. So this will be the
Sir.
Yes, motion of speed, final speed.
Sir,
Yes.
hello, sir. I have a doubt.
Yeah,
Sir, in first equation, there is minus u, and in second equation, why are we taking plus
sure,
u?
sure. See, this mass. So this dm. So if I consider, I will go little bit. See, this is the total mass of a rocket. Total mass of a rocket is m0. What we define, the total mass of a rocket is m0, which is equal to, let us say, mass at some time plus, let us say, mass of a fuel, isn't it? And this is actually mass after when you define a time t, okay. If I differentiate, change in the mass, which is equal to now dm0, which is equal to constant, and this is equal to dm, plus this is equal to dmf, mass of fuel. So this is actually mass of a, which is called as exhaust, mass of a fuel which is converted into exhaust, okay. So the change in the mass of a rocket, the total mass of a rocket is, let us say, 10 kg, okay. So what is happening, if 1 kg is actually removed, the remaining mass will be actually 9 kg, okay. So the change in the mass of a rocket motion, which is equal to, let us say, change in the plus sign or minus sign, okay. So it is the dm capital M plus d small m, okay, which is equal to 0. So that means change in the mass of a rocket, which is equal to, see, in this case, what I now writing, see here, dm capital M, which is equal to negative dm, okay, this is small m. So that's the reason I am actually converting negative sign to positive sign. See now, otherwise this small m as this capital M was different. I cannot integrate in this fashion. So that's the reason I converted into dm by capital M, and I also use this m, capital M.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's the reason it is plus sign. Yeah, I think it is 11:43. See this, okay, so this is the rocket. Sand problem is not a complicated problem. It's very simple. And uniform disk, you try to solve the uniform disk problem. This is already this you must have been solved in your maybe in a BSc. But see, this is something like integrate problem where you'll have to talk in terms of a torque which is acting on to the, let us say, at the point of contact. Okay, this problem you should be able to solve. The problem number, question number 5. Okay. Sand problem maybe in the next tutorial I will highlight. It is a one-line solution. Also, although it is actually the statement of the problem is long. Okay, yeah. So the next in the next tutorial I will also briefly discuss about this tutorial, and we'll actually start again the tutorial number 2. The tutorial number 2 will be distributed on Monday, on Tuesday. Okay, or Monday or Tuesday. And if it is possible for separate batches A and B, I will try to take a separate batches so that we will be discuss everything in a small group. Okay, isn't it? Yeah. So
Yes, sir.
shall I stop now?
Sir, when we have to submit this tutorials?
No. You don't have to submit tutorial. Okay, because see, submission means keep this tutorial with you. Okay, but if something if we ask whenever if we are asking to submit, then only then you should you should submit a copy. Okay. Yeah. So shall I stop sharing? Hello.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
Any suggestion from your side, because this is the first tutorial. Maybe we are the language, let us say handwriting or board speed, maybe it's little different, but maybe we'll try to improve. But if you have any suggestion from your side, just let me know, so that we can actually take those points, and in the next tutorial we'll actually incorporate it in our,
Sir,
let us say, yeah.
question number 6, I don't understand. So please, next tutorial.
Next time, you are from which batch? A,
Sir,
B, or
batch
C?
B.
Okay, C. Yeah, because batch B we have a separate batches. Okay, and then during batch B, I think it is 4:30 onwards. No? Maybe on Monday or Tuesday. Yeah, because we have from Monday onwards, we are actually following a separate timetable. But if some batch is missing, if some batch I could not engage some batch, what we have to do that either A, B, or I think the both batches will actually try to couple and will schedule on Friday or on Saturday. Okay, but just remind me that to solve the problem number 6. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Yeah. Okay. If there are no questions.
Sir, if you have any doubts, can we ask you personally?
Yeah. If you have, because we our WhatsApp number is actually open to you, so you can post those things. For example, some particular thing is not understood. That is the main reason of, let us say, holding a tutorial in a small batches. Even, and it is, we expected that our tutorial should be at 1.5 hours. Sorry, 1 hour and let us say 30 minutes. Okay, so we can actually able to take your individually. We can ask these problems to you. Okay.
Okay, sir.
So next time, if you have doubt, maybe you can share on WhatsApp, or maybe, yeah, that's also fine. Okay, so we have your next lecture. So I will stop this session now. Yeah, so thank you very much. Maybe today it is a little jiggling, but we'll try to improve this presentation and everything. Okay, sure. Yeah. Thank you.
Sir.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
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 Thank you.
Thank you, sir.